Hello, welcome to Caesar Snack Sandwich. Today I have a quick video for you on Lucidly. Okay, Lucidly is currently in a kind of live transition phase. Like they're going to build more and they're going to add more, but it is live right now, but I think it's gated right now. So you can't actually like deposit in this, but you can kind of look at it and think about it. Now, if this is something that's interesting to you, as always, I would suggest you read the docs, as well as I'm going to point you at the communities here, because that's probably the best place to find out more. So go to the communities, ask more questions, find out when this thing is going to be live, and kind of allow you to like farm points and so forth. As always, I've read through the docs. There are two key features in here that I really want to highlight and talk about. But before I get into those two features, we'll kind of explain to you what this thing does. Rise is the next generation, high throughput based rollup. Rise Chain is ushering in the gigagas era with a parallel execution engine and a continuous pipeline. Find out more at riselabs.xyz. So here on the front end, you can kind of see that the main idea of this thing is to be a yield aggregator. So you would deposit your assets into the vault, right? The vault would give you back a vault token, and then your assets would be sent to yield farms to farm APR on those yield farms, just like a normal vaults kind of system. However, where this thing really stands out is if you look through the contracts and you read through the docs, you will see this. There is a swap feature inside the Vault contract. So the Vault contract, or what they're calling a pool, so if you look here, code, it says pool v2, right? So the pool contract actually allows you to swap between the assets. So if I go to the front end here, and we see that if I want to deposit, I can deposit all of these different assets that are kind of used by this vault. So this is not a single asset vault, it's a liquidity pool. So you can kind of think of this like a curve liquidity pool or a balancer liquidity pool with multiple assets. And it actually you can actually swap one asset for the other asset through that swap feature. Now, if you look at the deposits of this vault, these are not usually assets people want to swap. So it's more for like DEX aggregators or solvers to kind of use as a source of liquidity for them to consider swapping. So like, for example, if you're looking here, so this one has USDC prime DAI, what looks like SUSD, and so if a user had some like SUSDE and he wanted some DAI, then a DEX aggregator could swap the USDC for this asset, this curve pool asset, and then pull the DAI out of this curve pool asset if that is the best possible solution for them. So that's pretty cool. So what that's going to do is it's going to increase your APR on your deposits here by like a pool swap fee. So right now the swap fee is quite low. It's a stable swap pool, but as you can see, it's another source of yield for depositors who deposit into this into these kinds of vaults. Okay, so that's the first thing. Multi-asset vaults that allow for swapping of the assets with inside. Okay, that's pretty cool. The second thing that's pretty cool is what they're calling this liquidity incentive settlement auctions. So I've got a look at a sneak peek here at the new front end that's coming. And if you look at what's kind of here so far, you can see that they have lock durations. Okay, so what they have is they have this kind of auction system that allows anyone to incentivize people to lock into this. So if I had my own kind of project and I wanted people to lock some liquidity, and they're going to get the yield farming APR, assuming that I have that as well, then I can incentivize them to do so. But it's an auction system where like it's like, let's say I say if you deposit into this vault for 30-day lock, I will give you 1 shitcoin. And then if nobody deposits after some time, it'll be 2 shitcoins, and then 3, then 4. then 5. And then someone's like, oh, 5 shitcoins is a good deal. So they deposit lock for 30 days. They get their 5 shitcoins. And then it goes back to 1 and starts going up again. And that shitcoin constantly is trying to encourage people to deposit into these assets. Now, again, of course, like this is a multi-token deposit. So if you are depositing into this, you're going to want to check out the price impact from depositing a single asset, right? So what it wants you to do is it wants you to deposit and maintain the balance of the pool. And if the pool is 25% of each of these, it wants to hold 25% of each of these. And if you deposit only one asset in there, you might be taking that out of skew quite a bit, and then you're going to have to you're going to get some price impact on that case. So that's something you would have to consider and kind of think about when you are depositing into these kinds of assets. Now, like I said, they're going to open this to the public. They're going to open a new front end, make it a little more user friendly, and open this to front end. If this is something cool to you and you think, oh, this is pretty cool, I want to know more, like I said, go to their Discord or their Telegram, ask more questions there, read the docs and so forth. And I hope this is useful and interesting. Thank you and goodbye.